Quincy residents can buy a tree through the city's annual fall tree planting program. The trees will be planted on the public parkways between sidewalks and streets adjacent to residents and business owners' property. Residents who wish to buy a tree that's guaranteed to bud out in the spring, maintenance for the trees falls on the responsibility of the owner. The cost starts at $100 each.
May not seem like a quality of life thing, but it really is, because these trees are making just a nicer looking place. A lot of times you see trees in front of parking lots, in front of buildings, because it greens it up. It provides, you're just not seeing a lot of concrete everywhere. These trees provide that different feel, that more of a comforting, warm feel to it.
And the deadline to buy a tree is Friday, November 8th. Trees need to be planted by mid-December.